my name is Finch and I'm the Business Finance Accounting Librarian. I'm covering for Larry Williams, who's on maternity leave until the end of this year. In this video, we're going to be looking at information resources. We're going to be looking at different types of information resources, like books and journals and newspapers, that you will need for independent study. We'll look at what they are, what you use them for, and where you can find them. Academic textbooks provide an in-depth overview of a subject for students to learn and study from. They are structured into sections or chapters, and you can use the table of contents at the beginning of the book to find them. Use the index at the back of the book to locate a specific topic or name. The advantages of using books to study with is that they're reliable, they're consistent, they're well structured, heavily edited, and written by respected experts and academics in the field. Because books take so long to produce, they are not the most current sources of information, and they can go out of date after a few years. Academic textbooks aim to develop a better understanding of subject areas rather than specific issues. For example, these two books on change management and organisational behaviour might cover specific subjects like gender and motivation, but you would have to look inside the book to find them. To find a book, add your search words and select libraries from the drop-down menu. From the Filter My Results, select Books, and if you are looking for an e-book, select Full Text Online as well. When you've done that, click on the green Apply Filters button, and then you'll have a list of books and e-books that you can access. Journals are like magazines or periodicals that contain lots and lots of articles and are published on a regular basis. In this video, we're going to be looking at two types of journals: one, academic journals, and two, trade and professional journals. Academic journals provide a platform for researchers to publish research, case studies, or literature reviews that are of interest to others with a similar vested interest in the field. Before articles are published, they go through a peer review, and this process can take many months. While this usually indicates the article is good quality and a reliable source of information, it does mean a delay of a few months. Articles under this category are also aimed at an advanced audience, and it can be difficult to read and understand if you are not familiar with the subjects or research. We have thousands of journals covering all subjects here in USW, and these are just a few examples: Healthcare Management Science, Behavioural Decision Making, Social Enterprise Journal. And find it, add your search terms and select articles from the drop-down menu. Use the criteria listed under Filter My Results to narrow down to peer reviewed, and then you can bring up academic journal articles. You can also search for academic journal articles on our more subject-focused databases in a similar way that you search for them and find it. Here, this is Emerald's Insight, a large research-based database focusing on business. Trade or professional journals are written specifically for professionals employed within a certain organisation or industry, a bit like this one. This is Information Professional, and it covers current issues and events for librarians like me. Trade journals focus on contemporary issues affecting the industry, and they are usually more current and topical than academic journals. The articles are not detailed and heavily researched, but they do report on key issues of relevance to that sector, raising professional awareness and understanding of important developments. And they are great sources of information for jobs and career development. We have several trade and professional journals in USW. If you're not sure which one to read, speak to your tutor. Newspapers are a very important source of information for up-to-date reports and current awareness. You can also find useful analysis and reviews with insights, trends, and interviews with influential people. They are also a good source of information for economic data and statistics. But newspapers can be biased and sensationalist, and many journalists do not have a deep level of knowledge needed to sufficiently question the information that they are reporting on. Most national and regional newspapers in the UK are available online at USW from European Newsstream. Go into Database A to Z and select the middle drop-down menu called All Database Types. Select Newspapers to find the link to European Newsstream. To look at older newspapers, select Historical Newspaper Archives instead. This section will look briefly at marketing reports. Market research is a valued skill and essential for business growth and development. It analyses consumer, political and social economic data which helps predict likely trends and outcomes. Organisations use market research for strategic decision making with the aim of expanding or protecting their interests. We have a couple of resources available at USW where this research is already done, and you can get an idea of how marketing reports are presented. Mintel mainly looks at consumer trends within retail and service industries. IBIS provides overviews of the factors affecting key industrial sectors. Both provide in-depth data analysis with data visualizations and reports from highly experienced market researchers and writers. To search specifically for market industry information available in USW, go into A to Z databases and select from the middle drop-down menu. You'll see here we have IBIS and Mintel as well as a few others. In this part of the video, we'll be looking at statistics. Statistics are counts of things with the same characteristics, which is presented as data for you to interpret it. For example, counts of people within a certain age group, counts of people who are vegetarian, and counts of people who are employed would be totalled up and presented as data information. You would then mix that data for analysis to see if there is a pattern. So, if you wanted to find out how many people over the age of 55 have internet connection compared with 16 to 24-year-olds, you would have to analyse that by comparing and contrasting the data available. You can see here in this chart that the over 55s use the internet less. There are many sources of data you can freely use from the web to analyse statistics. Here are a selection. There's the census, there's OECD statistics, Gap Finder, and lots more. Speak to your tutor or librarian for further advice. Statistical analysis is a research skill. Without training, raw statistical data can be difficult to interpret it. Don't worry if you don't want to analyse statistics yourself. You can find statistical data that has already been analysed and visually presented in an easy to understand way from sources of information that we've covered in this video. To find statistical information, you can look on A to Z databases. Use the middle drop-down menu of database types to select economic data, and then you can view a selected list of resources and websites that contain statistics. Now we're going to be looking at official documents and reports. These are documents produced by official sources, governments, councils, organisations like professional bodies and charities. They're usually freely available on the web. As long as they are current, they tend to be reliable sources of information covering a wide range of guidelines, policies, research and strategy. And here are a couple of examples. All UK governments have websites where you can search and download relevant guidelines and policies. This is for the UK government. The Welsh Government have a separate site for devolved areas like health, education and economic growth. In healthcare, NICE, the National Institute of Clinical Excellence, is a good source of guidelines and policies. Here I'm looking for guidelines on workplace management. Use critical thinking skills to find reliable sources on the web. Not everything you see here could be a good source of information. And here's a tip. Many reports are available in PDF, so use file type PDF to bring them up in your search. So to sum up, use critical evaluation to distinguish between official guidance and research from general articles and blog posts. The information is more likely to be official if the domain of the website contains gov or ac or org. But if you're not sure, speak to your tutor or your librarian. Grey literature is an information source that doesn't fit into any clear category. Grey literature can include dissertation theses, conference papers. These are ongoing research that are presented in conferences. It can include policy, organisational documents from government, councils, research charities, technical notes, the description of technique or procedure to a device or medical operation. Could be pamphlets and brochures, could be a political manifesto, could be a theatre pamphlet. Clinical trials, updates, things that need to be slotted in to legislation or standards. It can also be seen as throwaway literature, literature that's published for the here and now. Most grey literature is open access and can be found on the web with a good search strategy. However, there's a lot of literature, such as printed brochures, pamphlets, catalogues, that are not digitally available. These can be very difficult to find. Check out our library website for further updates and information. And if you need more help, speak to your librarian. We also have a YouTube channel full of instructional videos on how to find an ebook or how to look for journal articles, and it's available on the University of South Wales Library YouTube channel. Okay, if you've got any questions, if you need any help, speak to your librarian or your tutor.